Hello there folks, it is Toby from TIJ Music and welcome to a different video today. Today we're going to be doing a concert review of a concert I went to see on Saturday at the NIA, also known now as the Arena Birmingham. I don't know why they change these names all the time, does my head in. But I went to see Westlife at the Birmingham Arena. We'll call it the Birmingham Arena, it's a lot easier to say than Arena Birmingham. But I went to see Westlife at the Birmingham Arena as part of their The 20 tour. Of course, the band have now got back together after their last tour, which is the Greatest Hits tour in 2012. And this year are performing 51 different shows, I think. 51 shows, 34 in Europe and 17 in Asia. Now, I went to see the show at Arena Birmingham and that was absolutely packed. They did 3 nights at Arena Birmingham. I went on Saturday night and it wasn't the best view, admittedly. We were sat right at the back in Block 8. If you look at the floor plan, it's basically right at the back of the arena. But because it's all tiered, then, you know, the view's absolutely fine. And it was a great concert. So today I'm going to talk a little bit about the concert now. 2 things first off. Firstly, do not watch this if you're going to see this. If you've got a ticket to go and see it, don't watch this because there's plenty of spoilers about the set list, etc, etc. And I know I'd be the type of person to click on this video if I was going to see it, but I don't want to ruin the experience for you. Equally, I didn't want this experience ruined for me, so I didn't look at any of the videos that were published on YouTube. But equally, if you haven't seen it and are going to see it, then feel free to watch the video and feel free to watch any of the other videos on YouTube that have been posted. Some brilliant playback of some of the songs at the concert. So that's the first thing. Second thing, I'm not the usual Westlife fan. There was quite a female demographic at the concert, and to be fair, looking at the content on my channel and looking at my music taste, Westlife really out of the ordinary for what I listen to. But I really like Westlife, have done since I was really young. I went to see them in 2010 when I was 9, and that was the only time I went to see them until now. And funny fact is, and I'll squeeze this in, I'll talk very quickly about it, even though I'm making this as slow as possible. I went to see Westlife in 2010. I also went to see Kiss, the band, in 2010. 2019 comes around, I'm gone to see Westlife, and funnily enough, in a few weeks I'm going to see Kiss again. So it's amazing how those things come around. But I'm not the usual Westlife fan. Again, I've liked them since I was young, but as you can probably tell from my music tastes, it's not really a band I should be into, but then who cares these days about what music anybody's into? So just to set that apart, and I'll show you just quickly some of the Westlife albums I have got. Now, I've got the original Westlife album, great album. Also got the second album, Coast to Coast, another great album. Got World of Our Own, that was the last one. No, it was the Turnaround had the 5 members in when Brian McFadden left the band. And then I picked this up for really cheap actually, 25 pence in a charity shop, so I had a little bit of a dodgy bit there. But that's a covers album, Allow Us to Be Frank, with a lot of swing music, that sort of thing. That's a good album, to be fair. And then I've got the 2007, I was going to say 2008, Back Home album. That means I haven't got the Love album or Face to Face, and then I haven't got Where We Are or Gravity. Still a few to collect, but I did get this for my birthday. I passed my driving test and someone said, why didn't you play that in the car? Possibly, who knows, but I wouldn't be that proud to have the window down playing that sort of thing, but, you know, oh well. But anyway, let's talk a little bit about the concert. So, on the top right of your screen now, you should see the set list from the concert, and it covered all bases, it really did. It covered the 2 new songs that I was expecting to see in the concert, that was Hello My Loving Better Man, the 2 singles that Westlife have released prior to the release of their Spectrum album, that comes out later on in the year, so no surprise there that they performed both of those, and no surprise equally that Hello My Love was the first song that they performed. They had quite a nice video segment beforehand, and I'll talk a little bit about that because I've led on to it, about the lighting of the concert, and it was brilliant, to be honest. It was, you know, really good lighting sequences, and it felt really like a show. It wasn't just 4 blokes at the front singing, it was a good light show part. I think it was the one song, When You're Looking Like That, I think it was, that the strobe lights just went way, way, way over the top. And it was like having an epileptic fit at the end. It's like, alright, I like the song, but Jesus Christ, that's there my eyes were at the end of that. But luckily, it cooled down after that. So apart from that little complaint, absolutely fine. But again, the lighting show was very good. Yeah, as I put in my notes. However, way too much on When You're Looking Like That. I think it was that one anyway. Not quite Pink Floyd standard, but that's completely understandable. And a little fact that they actually employed the design team from the Cirque du Soleil concerts, or whatever you want to call them, performances, I suppose they are. So clear that they're taking inspiration from that, and that's quite nice to see. But back onto the set list, they open with, it was kind of like on the screen, it wasn't them singing necessarily, it was on the screen, the introduction of Swear It Again. I think that was to get the crowd all enticed. And then the start, we had a shortened version of Hello My Love. There's kind of like a little box, and they were in the box singing that. That was absolutely fantastic. It was a shortened version, so it started at the chorus rather than that little verse before the chorus. And I have to say their vocals haven't lost anything really. You know, it was all perfectly live, and their vocals are still great. Obviously, Shane and Marcus have got the best vocals out of the four. I think that's undeniable. Kian and Nikki have got slightly weaker vocals, but still great. Again, I'm quite a fan of that first one, actually, that first single, Hello My Love. It's not my favourite, but it's certainly passable, and I think I just had to get to grips with anything that's released now. It's going to have that sort of new music feel. Bear in mind, Westlife haven't released an album for nearly 10 years, and music has changed quite a bit in those 9 or 10 years since they've released an album. Then we went to Swear It Again, which of course is a classic off this very first album, and in fact is the first track that Westlife ever produced. In fact, there are 4 tracks. The first 4 tracks on the first album were included in the concerts. Are great stuff. So we had Swear It Again, great song. Then we moved on to What About Now. I haven't got the Where We Are album, but that's one of my personal favourites. But then we had some great songs all the way up to song 10, and then they had 2 songs, a little bit of a break from the greatest hits almost. We had Better Man, which is the second single off the Spectrum album. Not one of my favourites, but there we go. They have to include it for promotional purposes, completely understandable. And then we had a Queen medley. Interesting. It was a little bit of a nice break from the Westlife music, and I kind of expected this, because when I went to see them, I talked about this earlier a little bit in 2010. That was the Where We Are tour, I'm sure it was, at the LG Arena, but it was at the time. It's the Resorts World Arena now, and I'll talk a little bit about the Birmingham Arenas in a minute. Oh my God, we had a right panic there. But they performed a medley. It was of I've Got a Feeling, Halo, The Boys Are Back in Time, and Sex Is on Fire. Back in 2010, but they did a Queen medley, which consisted of the songs you'll see in the top right corner. Brilliant, absolutely fantastic. I'm not a big fan of Queen's 80s stuff, but then you've got to play what's popular. My feelings are you can't start playing Queen's old stuff. I'm sure the demographic that are watching this, I might be completely wrong, but I don't think the demographic that are watching this are going to be big into Queen's early stuff, so completely understandable that they perform some of the later stuff in the 80s. But great stuff, a great break. But the only thing that I would probably criticise out of that is that the next 4 songs they did, it was kind of like an acoustic section. They all sat down and just harmonised, really. It was I Have a Dream, Unbreakable, Fool Again, and Queen of My Heart, 4 fantastic songs. But they were cut short, and I think that was to save time. The concert was 2 hours. It started at 8:45 and ended at 11:45. So 2 hours the concert was, no interval in between, so again, I guess that was just that. You know, it's a bit of a problem because it meant that those songs were cut short. But really, you know, it was understandable. It was a great medley. It got the crowd going. I think that it was after that new single, and everyone's like, all right, fair enough. After playing such great songs, and then we're playing our new single, right? But it remains to be seen how good that album is. It's always the case that after 9 or 10 years, bands sometimes aren't as great as they used to be. But I'll reserve judgment on that until I listen to the full album. But then we had those 4 songs, as I say, and then we had What Makes a Man and You Raise Me Up, 2 great songs. And then they went off, and I thought they're going to come back on, because I wasn't too bothered about World of Our Own, but Flying Without Wings is probably my favourite Westlife song. So I thought, no, I'm staying to watch this. They are definitely coming back out, because after You Raise Me Up, Kian Egan comes, well, it's the end of the night. I thought, no, it's not, shut up. So they go out, and everyone's chanting, come on Westlife, come on Westlife. It's typical at most concerts that happens. So they played Flying Without Wings and World of Our Own after they come back out. I didn't actually see the last track because, and I'll talk about this now, we left before the last track just to get out early, because if you're a regular concert goer, you know how bad it can be for concerts, getting out of them really quickly. It's an absolute nightmare. I mean, we left the song early, but luckily we got out really quickly, and I live about sort of 40 minutes away from Birmingham, and I got home by 20 to 12, so, great stuff. We got out really quickly, but we parked quite a way up in the NIA Safe car park, which leads me on to another topic. I'd actually booked tickets. I'd booked a parking space at the Genton Arena, or the Resorts World Arena as it is now, so the NEC. And then I read the tickets on a day, and I thought, Arena Birmingham, I've never heard of that before. Of course, it's the National Indoor Arena rather than the National Exhibition Centre, and I thought, oh Christ. Luckily, I'd only paid £6 for that parking. I had to pay an extra £9 at the NIA. Disastrous parking, that was. The machines are terrible. They really are. The machines are terrible. You're trying to put stuff in, and it just doesn't make sense. But that's the parking done, so a bit of a funny bit about the parking. But my ticket cost £60, which I think is quite a fair price. I think the tickets all cost the same. Maybe if you sat further forward, they'd cost more, maybe £80, £90. But considering how ridiculous concert ticket prices are going now, that's pretty good. And I'm sure it's made Westlife a shed load as well. But I didn't listen to World of Our Own, but Fly Me Without Wings was fantastic. And a lot of the songs, the crowd, again, quite a female demographic, not really surprising. But a lot of the songs with the crowd really singing along to, it was a really good vibe at the concert. And it's not surprising that Westlife, I think they only announced sort of one show at every arena for the start of the tour. And I'm not surprised they had to extend that for free at the Birmingham, because the demand was so much that they had to increase it. The NIA holds about 15,000, so I'm guessing there were probably about 13,000 there. It wasn't fully packed, but there was probably about 90% of seats filled, so maybe 1,500 seats unfilled. But a really nice set list, again, really covered the greatest hits. No complaints to be had. If I look at all these albums, there's not really much else that I've expected to see. Stuff like Against All Odds and Seasons in the Sun, and maybe stuff like Us Against the World. But again, you can't do everything that every fan wants, and it did cover the greatest hits quite nicely. But World of Our Own, it's a decent song, but it's not one of my favourites, so I'm not too fussed. But a few people were asking for Bop 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 Baby, and they weren't performing that, were they? But nevertheless, any notes I've got to make before I finish? No, I don't think I have. But as I say, if you're going to see the show and you've watched to this point, even though I've recommended you not to, I do sincerely hope you enjoy the show. For those of you that have seen the show already, let me know your opinions down in the comments below. There's plenty of album reviews and top 10s on my album. I'm going to try and get more Westlife content out in the coming months. But that is my review of the Westlife concert. Thoroughly enjoyable. Really glad that I went. Probably the last time I ever go and see Westlife, because they're not going to be doing a 40 tour, even though they said, imagine us on our 40 tour. But yeah, I think that I'm quite happy I've seen Westlife twice now. I went to them when I was 9, and that's, not really memorable now, but definitely a night that will remain in the memory for a long time. So if you guys enjoyed that little review, leave a like on the video, comment down below, and subscribe for weekly music reviews. But apart from that, thank you all for your company today. I've been Toby from TIJ Music, and until next time, I will see you all later. Goodbye for now.